Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Check, 1 2 1 2. Check, 1 2 1 2. If you can hear me, put your hands in the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
I don't know. I see we got some viewers. We good now? Thank you for saying something.
Let's go. Yeah.
I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Y'all real ones. Y'all not the type that if I got a booger in my nose.
I ain't saying nothing.
And take a snap up, bro. Take this picture.
That's what I'm about to be like.
Wow. Something's different about you.
I gotta show niggas how you be flexing.
Yo, that's fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. What you saying, kid? Oh, you know what? We might have to let's refresh.
We got to double back.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's refresh.
All right, LJ. Everything you said before.
You were saying
All right, failed producers.
a bitch. That was sad.
Damn, wow. Don't even do that.
The capital.
With a capital.
Shit.
Next year, we'll clip this up so
That's wow.
so you can stand on that. But.
Exactly, bro. We got you straight.
Let's stand on that. All right, bet. Yeah, failed producers. Is that a thing? Do y'all feel that's a thing?
Depends on how you look at it. I guess, like y'all were saying earlier, it just depends on if that was their end goal to solely be a producer or was it to branch off to other things. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, critiques, like worldly critiques, if we just see you in one light, of course we'll say, dang, you fell off, you know, you ain't producing no more, this and the other. But like you were saying, Nubia, not knowing their personal status and whatnot, you know, their personal goals, we can't really, like real ones know, like, all right, I ain't finna judge you off of this. Maybe you wanted to do something different. Cause you know, everybody got you know, different talents and stuff they want to do.
Yeah, because like you said, some people don't want to do the same thing all their lives, you know. But do we go by award status? Like, does that determine if you're a failed producer or a failed artist? In that sense, as far as the mainstream goes, like if you don't make this level, you're a failure. Like,
It could go by success stories. Like,
I think, okay, so, you know, I tend to break things down like very literally.
yeah,
Just for the sake of like understanding. To me, you're only a failed producer if you failed to produce, right? So like if you never finish a beat, you might be a failed producer.
Yeah.
And if you define production as making a song, right? If you fail to put together a you know, I wouldn't even say digestible, a song, right? Then you're a failed producer. Everything after that is like, you're a producer, but you suck. You're a producer, but you're only good enough to do this.
yeah,
It's different levels of success.
right. And that's because I mean, even outside of that, if we're playing this game as far as the money and stuff like that, man, I feel like if in that aspect, if you do enough to change your life, for me personally, I can't necessarily call you a failure because that could have just been your goal to get out of certain situations, you know, to live differently. I can't say you're a failure, but like you said, we are speaking in the sense of Drake. He is,
I
you know.
think one other aspect of that situation was more so, it was the whole like failure. That was wild. But I think what Drake was trying to say is like, maybe if I could rephrase it, is that like because of the arena that you've accomplished in, that Joe, speaking from Drake's perspective, the arena that Joe Budden has accomplished, whatever he's accomplished in, and is playing, that he, like his commentary should not be taken seriously and is invalid. And so, do y'all believe that that's true? That if you're not playing in the same arena or at the same level, right, that your opinion shouldn't be taken seriously? Like if I was saying, yo, LeBron James needs to work on his game.
Right. I feel
Be taken seriously or not?
everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Like, you shouldn't. But I understand why Drake would say that, seeing the status that he's in, and he's like, you know, if you ain't learning at the level I'm learning at, like, little nigga sit down type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand that, but I do also understand that, some people just can get there at that status and just are, content where they are, but still can give some kind of insight, even where you're at.
I think cultural critique is a gift, and everybody can't do it well. And I think that some people can do it well because they've been participants in the culture they're critiquing, and some people can do it well because they can see it in a way that other people can't see. And so I don't think that, I think it's not, the answer is not black and white, because some people are absolutely bitter old rappers trying to say stuff about other people who make music and using their experience to color their opinion. And then some people are just good at cultural critique and and artistic critique. And it's not like cut and dry, I don't think.
Yeah. I feel, but I'm like, okay, again, I feel like we're going back to that topic, but it's Joe Budden. We acting like, I feel like this is going to come, but either way.
Just give in, man.
Let it
Bro.
go over you.
Yeah.
Damn.
When it comes to rap, you act like Joe Budden can't rap.
Yeah, I definitely want.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay, so hold on. See, hold on. If we gonna do this, we gotta do this right. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't want to do. Here we go. All right, let's go.
Joe Budden absolutely can rap. I mean, Joey,
His
his pen is crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But just so that we can get into the specificity, since we are talking about Joe Budden and Drake now,
Yeah.
the initial issue wasn't Joe giving Drake advice on rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
The issue was Joe giving Drake advice on longevity. That's a different conversation. And that's something Joe knows nothing about, especially in comparison to Drake.
Yeah.
Right? And so I do say, right, like I feel it. Like I agree. Like I do think it's a great thing. I don't think it's a nobody who ever done it should be able to speak, shouldn't be able to speak on it type thing.
Right.
I feel like, and the reason why I said it is because people are gonna speak on it. Like,
Yeah, of course.
the reason why basketball players are famous is not just because of basketball.
Right.
It's because of the people who talk about them. ESPN,
Yep.
SportsCenter, all
Yeah.
of that stuff. So like Drake, a part of you being famous is people criticizing you.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Right.
And that's, yeah.
It's called the entertainment industry, right? And so for me, it's not like okay, you can't speak on this type John. You can speak on this type John. But as with anything, and I've experienced this, in this city we call Memphis, right? 99% of the people who speak on me have never even seen my front porch in what I do, right? And so a part of being me is accepting that. It's knowing I'm me. The reason I'm me, the reason I'm this rarity, that all comes with people not having any idea of what it took to get here. And so I have to let people not understand and know that their simple discussion of me is only feeding into the visibility of me. You know what I'm saying? So there's a kind of live and let live. Drake can absolutely feel like that, but Drake also, Joe saying shit like that is a part of why you Drake.
And that's
That's how he got there. Like, you know, like I mean, Drake's controversy was like, yo, this dude rapping off the BlackBerry, he's not a real freestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those were some of those first controversies that made people like really discuss like and have to contemplate whether or not he was good or not. It made people really listen and tune in, you know what I'm saying? So aside from the great music he was putting out, like it was those same discussions.
Yeah, see, this is one of them things where, like, because of the industry, and you know how this shit move, because Joe Budden has shown Drake love several times. So,
Mad love.
and that's what I'm saying. So, for now, all of a sudden, when he critiques or say something, now you feel a way about it. So, part of me is like, is this just some publicity type? You know, is this just one of them things? Or is this actually happening?
Yo, has any rapper had more beefs with other rappers than Drake at this point?
Kanye West.
Oh, for sure. Kanye. Yeah, Kanye. Yeah, definitely Kanye.
Like,
Definitely Kanye.
Kendrick.
almost father and son
I would-
in terms of like their.
Yeah, definitely Kanye.
I would say Kendrick really didn't have no beef. I don't think niggas wanted to beef with Kendrick because Kendrick called a lot of rappers out in one of his songs. I think it was Control, if I'm not mistaken. And nobody bit back, if I'm not mistaken.
People definitely did back.
It was
Whole
some.
counties came for Kendrick.
Nah, yeah, it was yeah, no, they fought back. But even more so, that's a different subject. I'm trying to stay focused. My thing, I think for me, it was the way Drake responded. It's like, bro, you gonna give me a whole paragraph? Like,
You know,
okay, that could be the case, but I feel like, bro, that's below you. The Twitter fingers, all this other type stuff, like.
Nah, but that's okay. So here's okay. So I feel like I used to respond like that.
Yeah.
I used to feel like that. But like, okay, I used to be like, damn, Drake, like, you Drake, like, you don't have to respond to this stuff, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But now I know better. You know who I learned that from? I'm gonna give a big shout out. You know what I'm saying? A part of people's campaigns I've seen is turning their criticism into reasons to continue to remark or to converse about them. Right. You know what? I'm not gonna do any shout outs specific. I'll just say this. Not in this last election period here in Memphis, but the one before that, I saw someone do that miraculously. I saw someone take every bit of criticism, retweet that junk, and turn it into a campaign over and over and over again. And I was like, man, this is the epitome of turning bullets into energy, right?
I feel that.
And so in the world of campaign, marketing, visibility, man, sometimes you don't want those criticisms to die. Like, you want to keep them alive. Like,
I feel that, but I don't necessarily think Drake did that.
oh, he absolutely did that. Because he absolutely did it. Because as soon as Drake responded, half my timeline was Drake's response.
What are we
Like,
talking about right now?
I get. Okay, well then I guess maybe it's more so of a personal thing of just how he responded. Like, if I'm just to go to what you just said, if I'm like turning the criticism, whatever, I guess for me, I'm not necessarily calling you a failed rapper. That's not my approach.
Yeah.
But like I said, that could be a personal thing. So I guess he succeeded, like you said, because we are talking about it.
yeah.
I would have preferred him just rap, nigga. Just
I mean, but if he said that in the verse, like,
Yeah.
I would have felt differently about it. I think.
Yeah.
I think you're a rapper.
Yeah, to post it on Instagram
Like, bro,
was like
was it
unnecessarily messy.
that his line with the Twitter finger shit, or was?
okay. Well, all right. Let me just think about this.
That was his line.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say you talk about Twitter fingers, this and that, and now you posting a whole paragraph about a nigga. Like,
Yeah,
My man
but
Phantom
he
said,
that. Oh, my
oh, real quick, I just want to shout out to people in the chat. My man Phantom said, at this point, he should be immune to criticism. His career is built on it. But that kind of makes my point. I think he is immune to criticism. I think he just realized how criticism can play into marketing. He just put out an album.
Yeah.
He needs stuff like that.
But because of that, that's why I feel like this was purposeful. In knowing how over the years, like Joe Budden House gave mad support to Drake and all that. So I'm like, this feels more like this was intentional.
Yeah.
I feel like, as a side note, so one, I definitely agree with what you said about like, he's definitely like reusing the situation. Two, I feel like with the whole Twitter fingers thing, I could be wrong, but I feel like in those situations, like he was talking to another rapper. You know what I'm saying? Who does rap and could get on the mic and respond. You know what I'm saying?
So now you said Joe Budden is a...
No, Joe Budden is a podcast man. He's not a rapper anymore. He is
all right.
he is a social media person, so that was the reason that he's playing in. And three,
I respect.
People that aren't rappers on that album.
Huh?
He dissed people that aren't rappers on the album.
I didn't listen to the album yet, so you know what I'm saying.
That's correct. That's correct.
Drake be talking about everybody.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Drake,
And he don't
like
even
when
drop
has Drake
names, though.
shown any loyalty to somebody we thought he was extremely loyal to?
that's sad.
He is,
Conversation.
That's what we switched. Like,
well, I'm saying like this is also
This get real.
very much in his character. Like who like name everybody he's shown mad respect for, and then like in
Except
some of those
21
lists he's
Savage.
also dissed them.
Except 21 Savage.
I think that's just right now.
I mean, exactly, just right now. Like, let any thought that 21 Savage say something, it's gonna be all kind of crazy. It won't be no back comment, say no, like call. It's gonna be straight to the next Taylor Swift feature.
Niggas ain't never about to get the
nowhere.
niggas ain't
Like what?
bro. Niggas ain't about to get the Drake feature at all. He'll be like, no, I see y'all. I see type P, nigga.
You know what's funny about all of this stuff? I think it's something that you kind of said, right? Like, even if we're like, man, it should have been on record. He just rapped about it, blah blah. Like, this is very on brand for Drake, though. Meaning, like you saying, yo, it should have been on record, right?
Right.
That's some like OG rap stuff. That's some like, nah, man, we gonna put it on wax with the lyricism, blah blah blah. When does Drake follow any of these rules? Drake is the most petty superstar ever. Like Drake will literally not do it the OG way just to be like, I'm Drake. Like,
But see, I guess in this case, maybe for me, and this
you an OG, man. Look at me.
maybe for me, bro. Maybe for me, bro. It's like I don't think I think if they did go on some rap shit, I think Joe Budden's going to win.
I have to disagree because I
Is
seen.
that what we talking about?
I think so.
I gotta retweet it now.
I'm sorry, because you can pull up with
Hold
Joe
on,
Budden
I
trying
gotta-
to get into battle rap and he failed.
Battle, no, but battle,
Was he a failed rapper?
He failed.
but I don't even. I'm learning battle rap. Nah, bro.
I don't think he got the bars to go.
He also, I feel like even if
Sorry.
he brought it to like, okay, I'm finna rap with Drake.
That would be
You
silly.
already lost because you're not a rapper no more. You let this nigga
I don't
pull you
think
back
so.
into the booth.
bro.
That's facts.
Like that's a little.
Y'all don't think this man still rap?
Not maybe at one point when he now it's bro. Damn.
Let's go.
I heard this man Drake. This is like.
Ooh, no. He don't want to.
Man,
Hey, you know what though? Hold on.
I'm thinking about the social,
Bro.
the social things they might pull out.
Okay, so that's that's what
okay,
I was about
I
to say.
feel.
I was
All
about
right.
to say.
It's a
I was
different.
about to say, Joe is gonna out like multi-syllable bar. He's gonna out clever him. Drake is gonna talk about his little sister.
Like,
Drake is
for
gonna
real.
talk about the woman you were seeing that told Drake some stuff because you know what I'm saying. Like Drake is gonna go to murder you. Like
Like,
Only one
You
that
know
was
what I'm saying?
ever
He
able
coming
to
for
compete
your
was
ego
Pusha
type
T.
shit.
that's it. And it's only because he did it worse than Drake.
Yeah, he did. He did.
That's facts. That's
He did.
it, dog.
He did.
That's only because he got to it before Drake did, man. And he had some inside knowledge. Like, that's it.
Because Drake is messy. He's messy and he lives for
Absolutely.
drama.
Drake is sassy, bro. That's some zesty
I feel
ass
like
shit.
people. Well, we gonna talk about something else now.
Oh, we here. This is why he supposed to be the main talk, but we here. Let's go.
These niggas are sassy is like homophobic on the low. Like let them.
I feel you,
be men
but-
different ways. They ain't gotta be sassy. Just
Nah, bro.
But he,
Look, nah, bro.
But at the same time,
no,
Drake, bro.
Just like he's messy.
Come on, bro. Like,
Messy is genderless. I won't call him sassy though. I feel like
I feel
man.
like so. Well, just let me ask you this real quick. Since we're here, is sassy a good thing when it comes to women? Like, if you get called sassy, is that a compliment?
no. It's like it's got a negative connotation.
Yeah, it means like you're being a smart mouth.
You're being
It's like,
bitchy.
Yeah,
Like you're being
Yeah.
bitchy. And so to call a man a bitch is like it got its roots in homophobia. Like when somebody
Yeah.
say a man is being sassy, they're saying he's being bitchy.
Damn, somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "I hope this gets you back in the studio, though, Joe Budden."
No. No.
Bro.
That man is happy. He said he the happiest he ever been. He don't need
I'm not gonna lie. I think in the Tower of Balance, I like that Drake ain't gangster. I like that Drake isn't like.
I love that.
I don't even mean it. I'm saying gangster, but what I really mean is like
He's not.
like if you were to say Drake is sassy,
Okay.
I think I rock with the fact that he feels okay doing that at the top.
No,
He does not
that's
feel the
fine.
pressure
Be great.
of,
Do
like,
all that.
You know
That's
what I'm
cool.
saying? Like I feel like I don't know. Like just the song.
not out
listen.
here Birdman-ing people.
The first person shooter
Right,
joint.
straight up.
The first person shooter joint. The second half of the song is Drake over this beat where he's sounding mad like. My first thought was like, Drake, you ain't really on this energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then that's what made me enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's because like he just be playing around, like because he's Drake and he can. I think Drake is slick, a comedian on the low. I feel like the last
On the
15
low.
years,
That's literally what he.
That's his career.
I feel like the
That's-
last 15 years, this nigga been playing the longest joke on the music industry.
I can, yeah.
Because he can.
Doja Cat vibes. I feel like Doja Cat do the same thing.
No, for real though.
Somebody shouted
Like,
out Doja in the chat. Let me see what somebody
I
was
love
saying.
Doja. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I know she's, been doing her own little thing, like exploring with her image and stuff like that. But Doja been like that, and that's what a lot of like
Literally only turned it up because after her,
like
she had all these like people who didn't know her from her like
move,
shock value.
like when she came out, she
She
dressed.
was like openly an edgelord.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she been doing that shit. Like folks created a whole. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with Doja? A whole 200 and something thousand people unfollowed her and all kind of shit. I'm like, for what? Like y'all unfollowing the same person y'all fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all knew what she had going on. The industry told her to look like this.
That's
Then she
the
said,
game.
fuck the industry. I'm finna do what the fuck I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And, I don't understand.
I will say that I think that I think if you like drastically switch up your image, you know what I'm saying, or drastically present yourself more in line with who you are inside, like that will. I feel people have
Throw
every
people
right
off a
to
little bit.
throw people off because
I
people get
understand that.
introduced to
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah, she did it on purpose because she wanted to. So that.
But the people that stay with her are
That's
like
all-
truer,
yeah.
more, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just focus on them and
I believe she
everything.
made a
She's gonna turn up.
statement and was like, this is what the industry wanted me to give y'all. This is who I am. Type shit.
I just want it to be known that LJ, I just hope you believe that after this, that Drake will have to
Bro. I mean, bro, even if he
any
do,
sort of bar situation.
I'm just, thing is for me,
Ever. In the most common voice ever.
that's fine, bro. I respect Button. I respect his bars, whatever. But my thing is, I'm just a fan of the music. But I understand that it's more than the music, especially now. You have to the branding out. Like I get it. I'm just not a fan of it. But I understand. So going to your point, I understand why Drake will respond the way he did. In this day and age, I get it. I'm just not a fan of it.
One thing I do think Joe Budden would have murdered him on is if Drake would have went on the podcast and tried to defend himself.
He wouldn't do that.
Joe Budden is like
Drake wouldn't do that.
is the best arguer ever in the world.
Yeah.
I feel like he could definitely.
Drake ain't gonna do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Charlamagne the guy can go with him.
Yeah, I mean, Charlamagne the guy. I mean,
I don't know.
He ain't Button though. He ain't Button.
I ain't gonna
I feel like
him and Charlamagne.
2017 Charlamagne versus 2017 Joe. Yeah, but 2023 Joe is a different.
yeah,
beast.
he
Like,
different with this shit now. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have lapped Charlamagne. You know what I'm saying? Like he might have lapped him.
and
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know what happened. There was some controversy he went through, maybe during the pandemic or something, that Joe Budden went through, and now like he went through it like
Niggas was on his head.
he was like he became the villain for real.
It was when he left the other two guys.
Oh,
Rory and Mark.
Yeah.
Like, that whole he became the super villain. He was already the villain, but now he became now he's Magneto. Like,
Yeah. But I think he owned that shit like, bro, that's what it is.
And Charlamagne is definitely the villain, but like not to the point where Envy and Angela Yee was like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for him to do that and still be standing, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, Joe Budden feels invincible. So
Yeah.
Drake wouldn't want to see him on that.
Nah. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
He's got a voice for it too. He's got the voice for it. Like, his voice is gonna be heard over yours, and that's gonna be that. Like,
Yeah.
But we got topics
Alright,
though.
man.
Come
we
on.
got topics.
Come on.
We got
Alright, bro.
topics. Shout out to everybody who tuned in, listening in. I see y'all out there. Feel free to chime in, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about the topics? What we talking about now?
yeah,
Topic
so-
manager.
I guess the next one we was talking about when to play beats for artists.
I think it was just
Playing beats for artists?
Yeah.
Okay. And we want to dive into I
The
bet,
world of
yeah.
that. To the world of that.
Okay. Yeah. Playing beats for artists.
What made me think about that was like, I was just thinking about how like sometimes, like I'll be in social settings, right, and there'll be people who like, to me, and I'm like in this moment I'm like checking myself. I'm like, am I hating or am I like perceiving? You know what I'm saying? But there'd be times where, like, it would be, you know, me, it would be other producers in a room, and it would just be like, I would be feeling like they're not reading the room and they trying to just like, above all, play their own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? And it just be like, I just be feeling cringy. But then at the same time, they'll play their shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the response would be whatever it would be. But like, maybe that's a win. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just being afraid, right? Or is it like, so, you know, they always say that fortune favors the bold, right? So, like, I was just thinking about that balance between like reading the room, like being cringy and like not, and that working against you versus working for you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
do you feel like that works for you more than it works against you?
Man,
Like, getting your shit played, fighting the shit to play your shit, bro.
I've had a variety of I've lived through a variety of experiences that kind of just goes back to the first advice I ever told you, bro. You know, it's not A or B. It's knowing when to be A and when to be B. You know.
Yeah.
It's honestly, man, like I find that so much success in being a producer, being just in general in the world, is like your ability to receive communication that's not verbal, aka your ability to read a room, right? To see body language, to digest a whole bunch of, you know, data, and then be confident in the data you're digesting.
Right.
Right? So to feel like this could be a moment for you, and then to be like, is it? I don't know. And then afterwards be like, oh, that was the moment, and I didn't take advantage of it. But to know, no, this is the moment. Now it's time. You know. At Quad, man, one of the number one things they taught interns was how to be effective while having the smallest footstep, which was meaning like how to be a factor in the success of the creation of a song without ever being in the way.
Right.
Right? And that is predicated on reading the room. You know. And so, you know, sometimes it's about, you know, sometimes it is like, you know, you can kind of vibe. Like I can kind of see when, like, you know, I do that with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I do that with y'all, especially because I make mad beats. So it's like, you know, like whether it was you or C Major playing beats, depending on the artist and depending on the vibe, it's like, nah, I don't even want to play beats. Like, this is, that's, kid got this. You know what I'm saying? Let that keep playing beats. Like, he's killing it. You know what I'm saying? But then there's other times where it's like, there's an opening here. I feel like what is being covered is only some of it, right? And then there's me valuing what I bring to the table and feeling like that's a necessary thing, or that would be a valuable thing right now. That's the thing. I think it all really depends on, after this long rant I'm saying, I think it all really depends on, like, if you feel like you're adding on top of things, I would fall back. But if I feel like I'm bringing a necessary nutrient to this balanced meal, then I'm going to find a way to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put a gas station where there's 18 gas stations. I'm going to put one where it's not, you know what I'm saying, or where there's few.
Yeah. That makes sense. I agree with what you said. Like, so I was like, I really don't have anything else to say to that. I guess we'll dive more under the umbrella of playing beats for artists.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all, what am I? I'm a menace for this. You know, one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite things to do is people be like, "Yo, Mad Beats, what you been up to?" Man, you know, nothing much, bro.
Yo.
Going movies, and he's like, "Yo, what's that?" Oh, that right there. Oh man, I ain't even finished with it.
Right, bro. I know that shit so many times.
I do that. Every time I do that, I get better at doing that, and I internally have the greatest laugh in my head as I keep the straightest face of what? Oh, what?
Gosh, I just made this like 5 minutes ago, bro.
I love it.
I wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't finish this. I gotta add some chords and I didn't even, you know what I'm saying?
That's your perfect way.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. I think the first time I did, it was on accident. I had a session.
It was sincere.
No, for real, it was no. I just left the beat playing. Like, it wasn't for the artist. I was just working on something, and I'm like, oh shit, he's at the door. I had to let him in or whatever, and the beat was just playing. And as soon as he came in, I just stopped it. You know, like, bro, what's that? I'm like, so ever since that moment, I'll be like, bet.
I'll be having the beat playing. I'll be over here like,
Ain't looking for shit.
and then I'll stop it. Oh, yo, what's that?
yeah.
I'll be looking
My bad, bro. I was cooking up
Man,
just, you know.
keys and shit. Anyway,
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
yeah, I'd definitely be doing that, man.
I got another. How do you determine what beats to play for an artist? Like, what's your process in that?
Yeah. So, all right. So there's a few different ways. So I like. Okay, let me say this. One thing I had to learn and accept about me being me is that, like, and I would give this as an advice to like every producer. You know what I'm saying? Like every producer, we have to get better at accepting the fact that people come to us for us, right?
Yep.
Like that whatever they were doing before, right, or whatever you think that they're looking for, if you find that to be dramatically different from what you do, then why did they knock on your door?
I agree. I
Right?
agree.
And so I feel like a lot of us, we end up second guessing ourselves. We'd be like, oh man, this is the person, they usually like stuff like this. Let me go to my stuff like this folder. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, and then they'd be, I've done this a million times because of how little how often I will not value my own persona and brand and kind of lean into the artist and what I think that they do / want, right? And that it'll happen every time. Artists will come through, they'll be like, they be on that type stuff or whatever, and I'll be like, let me play some of that. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, yeah, that's what's up, man. That's just dope, bro. That's dope. And they'll be like, and then I'll find them finding a way to be like, yeah, man. Hey, man, you heard that new Earl? Or you heard that new? And I'll be like, yeah. Hey, man, I'm looking for some different stuff like that. And then I'll be like, oh! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they be like, yeah, man, some shit like this. I was over here, but I'm trying to dabble in blah, blah, blah. That's why I came to you. And then you be like, bro, why was I playing music like this man did not knock on I Make Mad Beats' door?
I feel that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I find that, like, that's a flaw in myself to see who and what I naturally am just as valuable as what I feel like mainstream or what most people are producing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm significantly better at that now because of the journey I've been on. But, like,
Of course.
nah, it's still a real thing. And I see other producers do it all the time. I see us do it.
Yeah.
I see us do it all the time. I see you and C-Man. I've seen all of us do it. We've all fallen victim to
Yeah.
it. But, like, you know, I can't wait for the day when, like, you know, Moneybag comes in and then I play him Mother Sang. Like, hey, dog, check this beat. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I super agree. Just niggas is here, you know. And also, it's just like it's a vision thing. You know what I mean? Like part of how to determine is like, especially if you. I think this comes with like some relationship and some conversation. Is like, yo, you know, I can kind of hear. It's to lead that like, yo, I can hear you doing something like this and maybe paint that picture. Mm-hmm. That's when I find most success, like being able to play things that they clearly weren't on before. So you'd be like, yo, I think you come like this, and then you got this feel like, That's been helpful, but when it's not that, a lot of times I just ask, like, oh, what kind of stuff you looking for? And what I found, I think this is a strength of mine, and like, it's not, but it could also be like a hindrance, and I'm still learning how to like more quickly filter through this dilemma, which is that when somebody says, "Yeah, I want something like spacey and atmospheric," to me, and what I make might be different than what they're talking about. Sure. And so like I need references, and so either what I'll do is I'll be like, "Yo, what you listening for?" I'll look for like, you know, I'll ask them what kind of artists or what songs they're talking about, or I'll just like oversend and let them choose and see what they're gravitating towards, and be like, oh, this is what you mean by that, and then I can like more directly focus in. So I do it by like a process of elimination kind of thing, because I have found that like my interpretation of terms just to be sometimes very different than
you know what's funny?
other people.
As you're saying that, I mean, well, first of all, I feel like that is a part of the role of producers that like we don't talk about enough. Like if you were to go to the doctor, you're gonna say, my stomach feels like this, blah blah blah, right? A part of a doctor's job is to know you don't speak doctor.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? And to know how to convert your common terms into where should they begin, you know, to search for the issue, right? The onus is on them, the onus is on the doctor. It's not on you, right, as a patient. I feel like the same thing for producers. The onus is on me to know how to convert what these people are saying. Because people say this, I want something that's kind of upbeat or something that's kind of, I remember one time I was talking to Offham. He was like, yeah, man, I just want some really hard drums, blah, blah. And I just remember being like, okay. Wait a minute. What do you think is hard drums? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then what he told me was not what I was thinking was hard drums. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm glad that I had that fork in the road of the mind of realizing like, hard drums might be different depending on whatever. And so I feel like you know that's a producer thing that we have to figure out. But one of the biggest thing I just realized about what you just said is how like I can't remember the last time I sent beats to an artist. To, you know, on some like rap on this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like and I feel like my man Mighty's don't count. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's certain people like Pro, that'll, you know, these are in-house for me. You know what I'm saying? But like I can't remember the last time me introducing an idea or trying to assess where to go was not like right here. Or even on Zoom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But just the idea of sending a blind batch of beats. That. Like the only time I do that is for like sync and license stuff. Like scoring, you know what I'm saying? Right. Stuff like that. And it just makes me think like, there's the conversation we're having, and there's the conversation we're having where it's a whole different story when people are not in the same room as you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like playing beats for artists. What is playing beats for artists, and how do you go about playing beats for artists when that means sending somebody an email? Yeah. And then they might not hear the bass line. They might not like.
Yeah, because you got to think about how they listening to it. Exactly. Yeah.
Man. Like that opens up a whole new bag of thought.
Yeah. So I've definitely done all of those things, but I know as of late, just like you said, it's been a while since I just like sent a batch of beats out to artists that I don't know. But typically, even artists that I don't know, it's normally like a face-to-face thing in a session or whatever. And for me, it normally starts with just a conversation to see where you're at, because I've learned that there's been times I send someone a beat and they weren't really rocking with it. And then when they're in a different mood, different place mentally or whatever, and I play it for them again, they're like, bro, this is it. You know, so I value the initial conversation to really kind of check the temperature of where you're going. Because there has been a lot of times where artists come to me, they don't necessarily have a vision. They know they want to work with me, and they have just where they've been at. So I know for me, I typically take away from where you're at now, how you're feeling, what's going on in your life, whether you just came from vacation, whatever, like, versus just going my traditional route. Because every time I'm working with someone, especially if you're a new artist, I'm trying to build our world, so to speak, versus just give you what I do. I take into account, like I said, who you are as an artist, because I value your artistry. That's why you're here. I never want it to be a situation where you're coming to me just for me, but I don't necessarily want to work with you, or I don't have no investment in who you are as an artist. Like, I feel like that's when it becomes a job.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to shout out people in the chat. Those CHR4 listening from Oslo, Norway. Big shout out, man.
Let's go.
Wolfster, Hand in the Sky. That's what's up. Big shout out, man. Just want to shout y'all out real quick. Please keep dropping comments, letting us know how y'all feel about what we talking about. For sure. Kid, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I think, okay, so as we all are, like, we're all like trying to get better.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I feel like I'm happy with the progress that I've made as a producer, right? But I definitely feel like there's still another level that I'm ready to go to. Now, this level, and this level of realm of undeniability, right? This idea that it's undeniable. And so when I think of producers that I would consider undeniable, you know, the first person that popped in my head would be like a Pharrell, right? I feel like when Pharrell making stuff, like the man is just undeniable with his creations. So what I'm wondering is, at the level that he's operating, right? When he's playing stuff for artists, right? Is he still being denied, right? Does he still have to like really sell the vision? You know what I'm saying? Because I've found that a lot of my success for the stuff that I make with people comes with like a level of like painting the world that I feel like this could live in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be uncomfortable. And I would love to get to a place where like I have to paint that world a little less, because the music itself is more undeniable. Right? So I'm painting a vision as like, hey, this is what I got. I feel like if you meet me here, you know what I'm saying, based off the information that you share with me and where I can see you going, if we meet somewhere in the middle, at the end we're going to create something on this level, right? But I feel like if that initial idea is closer to this level on its own, right, maybe the vision will be less explained. I'm wondering if that's actually something that would happen, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's just, if I just need to continue to paint that vision, because I'll continue to like play things that make artists a little uncomfortable from where they, you know, naturally would go. So like, I'm thinking, do y'all think like Pharrell has got to really do that? You know what I'm saying? When people get in the studio with him, he's like playing stuff and he's got to like explain, like, no, trust me, go this way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like all producers still go through that, you know, just questionable, just with any artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe every producer has, every producer does have the right beat for the right mood or for the right emotion, but it depends on what the artist is looking for, like what kind of mood or emotion they're in, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It does solely depend on that. Now, if the artist is like, hey, give me you, you know, I came to you looking for you, like, give me what you have and how you feel, and then I'll go off of that. That becomes something different.
Yeah. I've definitely worked with artists that, like I said, just didn't have a vision or idea, and I had to like typically, if it is a new artist, if it depends on how much time we have, will determine like if I'm making something new for you right there on the spot, or I'm gonna have tracks set just to give a starting point. Even if you don't pick from these, there's gonna be something you're gonna love. Like even if it's not necessarily the tempo or whatever, we might have to change the key or something. But I enjoy the artists that come in, like they have a vision, whatever. But same with me, like we're working to create the world, because those artists that aren't afraid to tap into themselves, it just creates a different sound for me, and I enjoy that more. The ones that's willing to experiment and like we say, be vulnerable. Just go into that with like you may have an idea of where the world you've been in, but you're leaving that door open to create another world of your own and collaborate, so to speak. I don't know. I just enjoy those situations better, but the email thing, I feel like that situation, it definitely takes me a lot longer. And that could be because I don't necessarily value myself enough to just go off of what I think this will work for this artist. So that definitely could be part of that. And like I've also been in situations where I sent artists beats and they didn't really fuck with them, but next time we seen they're in a different space, different, just mind, mentally, everything. They're just different vibe, and they listen to the same beats, and they love them. I don't know. It's an interesting balance that you have to learn, especially if you plan on doing this shit for a long time.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to tap into what Kid was saying about like having to like maybe even like coach or convince into an idea. Okay, so like I feel like in the beginning when I first started making music, like I super struggled with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I would see the end, but maybe other people wouldn't. But this is why, like, I told you, and then I told C Major, like, the best way to come into your own as a producer is to find one artist and make 50 songs with that artist. Yep. Like, because you're gonna, especially if that artist is equally searching and exploring and down to do whatever, yep, then y'all can explore together and never have to imagine. Like a producer and an artist together, you guys can make whole songs. You don't have to wonder how the song would have ended or whatever. You guys can get to the end of the road and then be like, all right, I like this, I don't like that, and then keep creating. Right. And you can sharpen your own sword in that process. Mm-hmm. But like, I think it's been my approach to that, to where, I have started off with just a loop of some drums. And then a week later, it'd be this complete exploration of an idea. Mm-hmm. I think enough people who are, at least in this community, have seen me do that to where I don't think I have to do as much convincing on the front end. I can just be like, yeah, here's some hi-hats. I think you should do this. And people are going to be like, all right. They're not going to know what the hell,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they trust you.
But they're going to trust it, like, and because that's what I am. I really feel like, I love when I'm just making a beat, but I really feel like the meat and potatoes of who I am as a producer is in post.
Yeah.
Like,
it's insane.
I think because I'm not just a producer, I'm a producer engineer, like, there's so much that happens once I know how to use your voice as an instrument in this production. But I need your voice first.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then I go in and start sewing things up. And I think, honestly, it was Pro, you know what I'm saying? And then before that, it was Midas, who kind of allowed me to exhibit that skill. And I just remember after, certain songs, Pro would drop Monday morning, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or results where, the lore was just, I would tell people like, nah, we was literally just humming, da-na-na, da-na-na, around in the studio, and then that song came out, You know what I'm saying? I think it just sets people up to like to trust you more in that regard. Now, with that being said, though, when I come across people who don't have those familiar leanings, I just play them shit that I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they may not have known beforehand, but I'll play them a song I did last week or whatever, blah blah, and then, you know, again, I'm the dude when I used to go hoop, like as soon as I would get to the court, you know, you gotta get downs. You got hope so. If you don't got downs, hopefully somebody will pick you up.
Right.
Right. The first thing I do when I get to a basketball court is dunk.
Gotta show, yeah.
That's it. I go up there. I get the what's up? Who got downs? Y'all already got your squad? Okay. All right. Damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then after that, it's like,
hey, we
yo,
got-
we got my man.
Yep.
What's your name? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I find it, you know,
Of course.
same idea.
Yeah, it's interesting. Going off of what you just said, like I've had to do the more convincing on some engineering shit than the producing side. Just because they may be used to things sound like I'm very more when I on some engineering shit. I'm definitely more about the creativity side of it versus just the straight down the middle. Like I enjoy the stereo feel, like all that. So most artists, when they come to me, like they've either dealt with the engineer who just has some template, they just throw their session in there, you know, hit them with the ozone situation and keep it pushing. But like me, you know, I'm just saying, like it's not just a drag and drop type of thing, like on some engineering side. So a lot of time when they get the song back, they be like, bro, this doesn't sound like, and then I have to paint the vision for them and explain why I did certain things and this and that. And then that's when the trust gets built. But I definitely have to do that more on that side than the producing side.
I just tell people from the beginning. This might sound completely different.
Yep.
in a week.
Yep.
But then like it's saying, you know, man, they do what you do, bro. Like that's what I love. Like I don't really. I think one of the like one of the most.
Put the reverb on.
Nah, it's been on.
Look, he already ready. What you talking about? Out the gate. Up top.
But I think one of the most self-care things I've ever done for myself as a producer, it has been like, you know, of course I champion how well I can meet people where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the fact that producing for TV and stuff like that has made me a versatile producer in ways I would have never been.
Yeah.
Like trying to somebody get in a call and be like, yeah, we need something that feels like this. I would have never made that on my own.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to make that, and then I get good at it, and that has made me versatile. I love being versatile, but what I also love is like, you know, is I love the fact that I prioritize working with people who trust me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that whole, I don't know what you're gonna do and if you're gonna do a right thing. Like, you know, I don't really tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I feel, and I'll be honest, there are some artists who are just particularly controlling or insecure in that regard. And with those people, like I either have very little to do with it, or I just literally tell them go somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I feel like when you do that, then now I'm sacrificing what I bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? And that for me is self-care for me, because it's like at the end of the day, I don't want nothing to say produced by I Make Mad Beats. They don't feel like I Make Mad Beats.
Fat, bro.
You know,
Facts.
but I feel like if people don't let me I Make Mad Beats, it's not gonna sound like I Make Mad Beats. And so I would rather have 3 songs out there than 300, and them 3 songs be like, damn.
Yeah.
Who is that? He really on whatever he's on.
Yeah.
You know, that's my preference.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, this conversation is just really making me like consider like, in what way do I love the most to like present ideas to artists? And I think all of us love the like the in-person side of it.
Yeah.
It's like specifically that like that transition from us just talking about life and whatever's going through or whatever we're going through, and then somehow that like sneaking into
Yeah.
like, all right, let's play some stuff.
Yeah.
You just start-
I have gotten really good at that.
That's my best. That's my favorite way to do it. Yeah.
I've gotten really good at steering cups, huh? This is a beat I made with cups on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gotten really good at that.
Real
But I'll, you know, I think now, I know we're talking about beats, but I can talk specifically with the two of you guys because we're all kind of on the same journey right now, which is like of presenting songs and song ideas. You know what I'm saying? And so now, man, like it started with Marie. It started with my wife. Like the idea of like, I'm gonna tell you like, this ain't a secret, but I feel like it is a secret. Y'all about to get some free game. You know what I'm saying? If y'all watching this, like, when you're pitching an idea to an artist, like, the same way people love to see vocalists love to hear voices. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say a song is about, you know, shooting up a neighborhood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you shoot a neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. And then people be like, okay, cool. But if you just get somebody to say, shooting up the block, shooting, they're going to be like, oh, I see the vision, shooting up the block. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's crazy.
exactly. Like, it really is. It's like them looking in the mirror. They can see the identity of the song clearer than if you said it, just hearing it in there, right? And that's where I would have, you know, Marie come in and literally say the phrases I thought people would latch onto.
That's a cheat code, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, like, oh, I remember being in New York, and I remember like talking to my man Greg and being like, fam, there is a clear pattern here, right? Like when I play people beats that don't have a Marie vocal on it, it's like a 1 in 15 chance. You know what I'm saying? Right. When I play people that the beat that has a Marie vocal, and again, it's not like she's just out here doing the wildest singing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's literally I'm just telling her to sing these phrases of the idea. It's like a 1 in 4 chance, like every time. It's dramatically different, you know. And so like, you know, having a Marie or having a Unique around, they can immediately like, life is just a, you know what I'm saying? Your idea immediately help you be like, oh, I see the vision. It changes how it lands on people.
That's interesting.
That's a
Yeah.
major key.
It
Yeah.
is. I
Yeah.
just got a free game from your boy. Pay up. You know what I'm saying? Not free. It's not free. Pay up.
Yeah. I mean,
Subscribe, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
no, I think that's definitely a major key. I would love to hear just the response from the artists, songwriters, singers, vocalists in the room. Like, so how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all prefer that more than just a beat itself? Like,
I actually can appreciate it both ways because sometimes the artist. Yeah. Okay, regrouping. But yeah. But no, I say that only because Mad has taught me like the artist is also the instrument or whatnot, and we're also producers in our own lanes. You know what I'm saying? So I would never go into a room just looking for the producer to be the producer. I also need to bring my own production mentality as well. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of times where I go to the producer and like, hey, I'm feeling like this, or I need this kind of mood, and you know, we go for it. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Yeah, I think I feel like I have a similar answer, but also I think all my answers are colored by the fact that I'm like learning what I like and what I don't
Gotcha.
like. Like I'm still in
That's
the
good.
process of it. So my my initial like the answer that I wanted to give was that it like I'm cool either way. But honestly, I think I'm leaning more towards the more open space I have to make choices, the
Yeah.
happier I am. And so I feel like the presenting of the like already packed in vocal melodies sends it in a direction, which I might really love the direction, But if I'm thinking about like which process am I going to have the most fun with, I'm thinking of this process where I have the most space to make choices.
I rock with that.
That's a. I feel like that's something I feel like intuitively I understand, but I definitely have not put more attention. I'm gonna try that out. Let me just put these phrases in here, see how it translates. But I know for me, like one thing.
Hold on, I just want to hold on. I feel like we have a great real quick. Like I'm gonna tell you, I was experimenting on this with you before you even knew it. Yeah, because like, so first of all, like, I have a whole bunch of tricks for this. Meaning, like, if Marie's around, if Unique's around, that's great. But sometimes they don't be around. That don't mean I don't be knowing how to get these phrases. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, there was a time, you don't even remember, right? The first time you came through to the lab, the very first time for you, I played you a beat, right? And you was like, man, that's dope, right? The next time you came through, I played you the exact same beat, but I put a vocal on it. And you were like, oh, I love this. You know what that became? Sweet Happiness.
I was just gonna say Sweet Happiness. Yeah.
As soon as, now
Yeah.
you have an idea, you know what I'm saying? I saw it
That
happen.
spark.
I was like, see, I told y'all. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely. And you know me, I love but yeah, I found one thing that I found like to be really effective was from last January when I just really dove in and was like, yeah, I'm just working on this project, I'm working on music. And my goal, my like personal goal was like, yo, I want to make beats, I want to make music completely not only following my like curiosity for like sound, but like everything should come from some emotional place. Like I want to be able to tell the story of what I was thinking about, what I was inspired by, and what I was feeling when I made this. And so like I found that making tracks from that standpoint allowed me to have something that even if it didn't sound like what the artist might be describing, because I could personally tell how this song connects with what you're talking about right now, like it was way easier to sell a vision, be like, hey, like this may not be where we was going, but like I was feeling that exact same thing when I made this. Like this is what I was going through, and it was that the interpersonal connection and the story that basically like made the beat easy to present because of me, like because of what I said about it, versus what it sounded like. And so we were able to connect on the emotional level and figure out how the music was going to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a common ground. So like, you know, it's just like what you said about being like, if you want to understand people, understand yourself. Taking the time to like really dive into my own motivations and emotions, like, and put it into like a tangible form to where like it's a, you know, like it's a time capsule of it now, makes it way easier to connect with another artist and help them bring forth those emotions on the record, because we already got we got a very clear starting point.
No, that's it, man. I mean, there are many ways to convey, and even that, like, I think that requires a specific kind of personality. Meaning, like, you got to have somebody willing to explore. Because they might connect, but that may not have been the way that they would naturally have chosen to express it, like that kind of musicality. But they connect with how you connected that with your exploration, and so they want to. Now they're walking into, you know, a place they wouldn't normally walk to express something. You know, they have to be willing to explore. You know, and that's a thing as a producer you got to decipher. That's honestly that's probably one of the first things I decipher when I'm working with an artist. It's how much is this person willing to explore? Right. And honestly, I mean, that was like, I keep bringing up Unique, but like that was probably the reason I was like keep coming back. Was the fact that I could literally throw you any beat. I could throw you all the beats that like I felt like nobody was gonna rock with, and then you would 24 hours later have a whole song or at least a hook.
Yeah, bro, that was fun. That's
Honestly, that's the makings of like a good, like. It's not so much about being similar, as similar musically, as much as it is similar about how you want to explore.
All right, how curious you are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that you have to have in common with who you're working with. You can't be, explorative and the person you're working with is not.
Yeah.
Then you're forever gonna feel like
Yep.
You're doing more of the push. Yeah.
there's more in there
Nah.
for me. I'm not fulfilled with this.
And now it becomes a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has to be matched.
Yeah. So, off this topic, I thought about a moment, but I want to see if y'all ever had to deal with it. Like, what was the first time you were working with the artist, and maybe y'all just having a conversation, and the artist started crying? Like, how did you respond to that emotion? And then, more so, how did you respond and take from that emotion to add to the session versus, because I've definitely been, in situations where artists get emotional and they shut down because you can push too far, and you got to try to figure out how to bring them back into this world to get the best of that, because a lot of times, when we're in that space, that's when you make some of the best music. So just what was your process? How did you respond to that? If you've dealt with, I'm pretty sure you've dealt with that before.
Kid, you want to hold that down first?
Yeah.
Kid, you holding it down.
That's, to me, that's very much the adaptable situation.
Yeah.
That's happened a few, multiple times with different artists, and sometimes you just don't make nothing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what they need.
Yeah.
Just a conversation, somebody to listen. You know what I mean? Because, right, if we really get down to it, right, we could say that we're here to help people produce their records and put emotions down, but like even further down, this is all expression.
It's therapy, bro.
Express themselves.
Yeah.
And what I learned is, for me, like allowing myself to fully be an artist, is that sometimes I needed to express myself in other ways than music.
Yeah.
And as a producer, also holding down that role for me, like I had to give myself the space to express my emotions in a way that wasn't necessarily on record in that way, right? So sometimes you just let it be. Sometimes people need to talk. Sometimes people need like some sort of like affirmation, words of comfort. And if there's enough time,
Right.
sometimes like after the height of the emotion has like maybe come off its climax, right, there is space to I don't know, just tactfully and just very graciously be like, yo,
Would you like
again,
to?
this is just knowing, being in touch with your own emotions, be like, this is exactly the solution, this is exactly that feeling. So
Right.
when you perform, like, remember, tap into that, like, speak to that situation, overcome it, you know what I'm saying, or surrender to it, you know what I'm saying, and we'll capture that. It doesn't have to be perfect, and we'll just
Right,
as long
right,
as
right.
it's sincere. I don't know. There's just there's ways to like, I don't know, just speak.
I got you.
Pause, but like just speak tenderly to people and speak.
It's not a hard.
Speak tenderly to them in the moment.
Kid out here speaking tender. Tender speaking ass. Speak tender, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just
You ain't speaking tender enough, bro.
it's just a very in the moment situation. Like you just think about how you would want to be
Right.
in that moment. And you think about
You
like.
want the tenderness?
It's just compassion. It's just understanding. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm going through, and like, just like when when you talking to, you know, a potential mate. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can feel like
Gotta talk to you. I mean, hey.
sometimes like when there's something happening, like if you start being too sexual too fast, like it throws everything off. And but
What be going on with you?
You done that? Don't be too sexual too fast. Damn, bro. What experiences have you had?
Wait, hold on. She threw that old motherfucker. What y'all doing in there?
I'm just saying, like,
What are you saying?
how the question is, how did I respond? I just responded to what the moment called
You
for.
responded
You know
to
what I'm saying? As tactfully as possible, because the emotions are high. It's just like when somebody's pissed off. Like, you just gotta be aware of how to move. You know what I'm saying? Because like things can boil over. Like, you know, like when tensions are high. You know, on some like it might pop off vibes. You just become hypersensitive to like.
Yeah.
Everything around awareness.
Just taking note of your surroundings. You know, and you just make the best choice for that situation.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I want to now in the session tell the artist like, yo, right here, speak tenderly. Like, sing this tender. Like,
I'm saying
use your tender voice.
tenderly. You
Nah, I got you. But I just want, yeah.
You just want to be telling to be tender.
Yeah,
Yo, I need some tenderness. That's definitely something I would say too. Like, yo, can I get a little bit more tenderness?
Right there.
Can't be saying this stuff. I can't. I would absolutely be misunderstood. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. Unless it's like,
It depends on who you talking to, like for real. It depends on because like.
He like, nah.
Homies, like, it's
Hey, nigga, be more
I'm
tender,
talking
bro.
to homies, I'm not sure if I'm using that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like if you would have said it to me, like I wouldn't take it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, bro, I need more tender right here. Just
yeah, like you know.
Dude, let's be a little bit more tender. Nah, I feel
I said, Paul.
nah, but hold on.
But everything else you said after it.
so it makes
Nah,
sense.
I'm gonna be honest, man. So like, okay, so regarding this initial journey, and then I'm gonna go into the general idea, the general conversation here. Like, like those scenarios for me are interesting. But I think it's because
Thank you.
I think it's because I balance out something else. It's in play here. It is the fear of being misunderstood in such sensitive moments, right? I'm like dancing around the bush, but I'm going to just stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you already started.
yeah. So when people are in sensitive spaces like that, vulnerable spaces like that, like, you want to show love, you want to be tender, but also when people are in vulnerable situations like that,
They tend to latch on to whatever it is.
they can very well misinterpret love and tenderness.
Factual.
Yeah.
Factual.
That's very true.
And so
Very
for
true.
me, situations like that can be interestingly anxiety filled for me because again, I'm a nice person.
Yep.
And I care about people, but I always have to be concerned with being misunderstood because I'm a family man. I am heavy in community development. I'm a role model. All of these things, you know what I'm saying? And I'll just say this, man. I've been in scenarios where, so somebody said, especially if they haven't had that kind of love. I've absolutely been in that scenario 6 trillion times. You know what I'm saying? Where there's something about me that is, I listen, I care, blah, 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 blah. And in those moments, they hug be a little bit too hard, their hands go in interesting places, et cetera, et cetera.
That
et
could
cetera.
also be
You know what I'm saying?
traumatic for someone too, like, and make them not even want to be around or not even know how to perceive, like, when someone's showing that genuine love back.
That's it. And that's
I've
a
definitely-
sad thing for me because I am genuinely a nice guy.
Yep.
But very often when I show genuine love in spaces where people don't show genuine love, that looks like I'm trying to do something I'm not trying to do.
Yeah, I've definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that
yeah.
makes me like ultra like, okay, I am not exactly sure how I respond to this. But the first thing that I do though is like I maintain neutrality. Like I get extra picky with my words. That's my version of tenderness.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's not necessarily to be particularly softer or more whatever. It is to be more accurate
Yeah.
than ever. Right? It is to be supportive, but not necessarily like indulging in that.
I got you. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Or to be doing a little bit too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's particularly if this is 1,000% like doing business.
Yeah.
It's different if I'm working with somebody in the team or whatever.
Right.
But if somebody's coming to me to produce a song, then it's like no, take your time. Like
Yeah.
I understand. Oh, I've been through similar things before. You know, blah 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 blah. But I try to deliver the same message you said, but with a particular like grayness to it that doesn't allow you to feel like I'm leaning into this moment in some kind of special way.
Yeah.
Because I can't. I've had too many times where people's admiration for me turns into something else just because I showed them special love and tenderness in moments like this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hate those moments because it's like you said, I'm genuine. This is just who I'm a nice guy. This is just who I am.
Goes both ways for women, like, you know what I'm saying? I've been in situations to where I've been, you know, the quirky me I am, you know, willing to work, you know what I'm saying? And people have taken advantage of that and, you know, tried to look at it as, oh, damn, she's trying to, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to see what's up. No, the fuck, I'm not. Like, I'm just cool like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I keep trying to picture myself in this situation. And again, I keep saying, like, I'm, like, learning. And I'm
Right.
like, I feel like if I was in a session and I started crying, I would be like, all right, we ain't supposed to work on this right here. Because I done all the work that I need to do on this. Especially if I can't imagine. Like, there's, like, I don't know, if I was working with you.
That's why I said it depends on who.
crying.
Yeah.
But even then, I feel like I will be like, I do not want to process this when I'm trying to make something. So, like, if I'm still processing this, I'm going to, like, we can either shift gears, pivot, work on something else. Because I'm not, I know some people do that, like some people like work through it and leave it all on like the track or whatever, but like I'm not doing that to myself. Like, I think I did that with poetry. I performed some pieces I was not ready to do, like, and I did that for years because I was like, oh, this like makes for like a really compelling performance, but like when I look back at those pieces, I can't read them. I can't enjoy, like, I can't even tap into, like, the experience of performing them. And I don't want my creation, especially because I'm not trying to make music, like, that weighs 1,000 pounds. Like, if I'm working through something that was, like, heavy for me, I want it to be at the point where it's, like I can handle it with some dexterity. I don't want to be, like, fumbling it and, like, and crying through it and in pain trying to record. Absolutely not. And I don't know if my mind will change on that, but, like, and it could just be that I don't trust nobody, but like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't feel like, again, that's what I say, sometimes we don't make the actual product or work on the actual product, but I do believe that, you know, a space like this is exactly what that's for.
Yeah.
You know, this is where, speaking specifically to outer space, like, this is where, like, all of that is supposed to open up. And we become
Where vulnerability becomes art and weirdness, where it becomes genius.
Yeah. So this is like, if there's no place in the world that should happen, it, you know, it would be here. You know what I mean? And this is a space for that. And then, you know, and maybe this is the place where you have to process that, or you just realize that you need to process that, and you know, hopefully that's accepted, whether that be on the mic or not. But I always. Like, I feel like it's a good thing if I can create a space where people feel comfortable enough to let themselves go.
I know
So-
I done boohooed in a couple of sessions.
Oh yeah, I mean,
So with me as well. Yeah. Facts.
but no, but I will say this though, like I 1,000,000,000% understand, like, nah, let me go ahead and process this, and yeah, blah, 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 whatever. But I will say this, though, right? And it's all up to the artist to depend on if this is worth it, right? Like, there is I've recorded and produced enough songs to know there is a difference on how sincerely you conveyed an idea post it happening and during it happening,
bro.
right? And so it's really all like, if you're okay with losing that like 3 to 4% of sincerity, all for the sake of, you know,
Being perfect,
song.
being
of like having more control over everything, blah, blah, then fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you're aiming for that, like, no, I want y'all to feel exactly how I felt in that moment.
yeah. Them be the best ones, man.
Don't go home and process. Don't go home and figure it out. Like, even if it's wrong, even if it's terrible, it will be, it will have a spice of realness on the top of it. It can't be replicated. But that's not a thing that I would tell anyone that's what you have to do or that's what you should do. Because here's the thing. Like, let's just say with that version of the song, you made 1,000 fans. With the other version of the song, you're probably gonna make 997 fans. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like, are those 3 fans worth that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's a
Right, because you, as the artist, I feel you have to take into account that you will be performing this.
yeah.
So are you going to, you know, want to go back to that space every time you perform this? So there's that, and I think it is another thing as the producer and or engineer is on us to make that space safe enough for the artist to
make it an option.
Exactly, because if they don't feel comfortable enough in that space, they will just shut down and reschedule or whatever. But like for me, I remember the first time it happened, I was thrown the fuck off. I was like, yo, what? But for whatever reason, I think just because of who I am as a person, it was a safe space. And the song like came out pretty fucking dope. And she enjoyed it. And I feel like for me, that was like a superpower type shit. And that was the moment when I realized like these sessions it's therapy. We're therapists, so to speak. But it's up to us to make that space for the artist. And I feel like the more comfortable the artist is, you will get both versions.
Yeah, I mean, the first sign of wealth is options. And that's it. You wanna be whatever the desired result needs in that moment.
Yep.
And you want to make sure that you curated a space that allows for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I absolutely, I mean, like I said, I've been, this scenario I've been in many times. But, you know, it just, like, there is also a personal safety.
Yep. It's a delicate situation. Yeah. I agree. Had to learn that as well. Yeah, man.
Where we at?
That's what I was thinking. What time is it?
It is definitely past our
12
bedtime.
past.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Damn. We've been in here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good session. With that being said, for those who are still in, those who have tuned in, big shout out to y'all for witnessing another Type Beat podcast live from outer space and Unapologetic Studio. My name is I Make Mad Beats. I'm the CEO and founder of Unapologetic, and to my right is
Kid Maestro.
Unique.
LJ1S.
and this has been Type Beat. Y'all stay safe, stay dangerous. Peace.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again. Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.